Would you be surprised to know that what I would consider one of the coolest patent drawings in U.S. patent history was with a patent that was filed by a rock star that you probably already know the name of? I'm going to tell you who it is and his story next. Hey, it's Don Skaggs, again with Empowered Inventing TV, where we try to help you help other people by taking your great innovation, the right opportunity, mixing that with sound wisdom, so you can turn them into real things like products and businesses. And speaking of products and businesses and patents, did you know that one of the coolest, what is considered one of the coolest patent drawings in U.S. patent history was from an invention filed, a patent filed by none other than legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen. Now, Eddie Van Halen passed away, I think, in 2020, but his legacy lives on in music. But what most people don't know, that this famous founder of the famous rock band Van Halen, he ranked 8th on the list of the 100 best guitarists of all times. He was also a prolific inventor with 5 patents, and what is, again, one of the likely one of the coolest patent drawings of all time. It was patent number 4,656,917, and it was filed on April 14th, 1987. So the backstory of Eddie Van Halen is he loved to tinker, and he actually got that from watching his dad invent musical instrument adaptations that he would use. And now, probably what I consider the most fascinating, at least for me, part of this story is that his original guitar, Eddie Van Halen's original guitar, was nicknamed the Frankenstat because he pieced them together from so many other parts. I love this so much because we talk so much about what we call the Frankentype. And that's the prototype where you've gone to the graveyard of broken products and spare parts, use glue sticks and duct tape. But that's exactly what he did. So I just think that's amazing. He called it the Frankenstat. That just blew my mind when I heard that. So anyway, and by the way, did he have other patents? Was he just a one-off inventor? No, he actually invented an adjustable string tension control, something called a humbucking pickup. I don't know what that means. I'm sure you musical people out there probably do. And ornamental designs for guitar peg heads and pickups. But his big one, the one with that cool drawing, that was called a musical instrument support. And while this was just really one cool illustration, it was used to create new techniques and new sounds previously unknown to any player. I think that was probably even in the patent. That might be some wording from the patent, as a matter of fact. So this, by the way, this made it new and novel. So this made it different than maybe other things that might have been a little similar to it. So it was basically a support system for a guitar, so the player could approach it from any angle. And, it enhanced his performance. So anyway, what lessons can we learn from this? We don't just tell these fascinating stories just to be telling them. No, there's always some really good lessons that we can take away and use in our own journey as inventors and entrepreneurs, and there's certainly some here. So what can we learn from this? Well, he invented from where he lived. So he was in the music business. He needed to create new sounds, new aspects to his performances, something to make his brand unique. And, while you can invent from the outside world that you live in, and there's nothing wrong with that, as long as you familiarize and understand and, you get eyeball deep in it. But sometimes your best ideas are right in front of you, right where you live, right where you you live and work. Maybe that industry you're in right now, that you're working in. Maybe you don't even like the industry you're working in right now, but you know what? There may be a cool invention right in front of you in the industry that you're working. So always be on the lookout for opportunities like that, and usually they're dressed up as pain points that other people are experiencing, and sometimes not you. Another thing is, and again, this goes back to my favorite part of the story, even a famous rock star made a Frankentype, and so should you. I can't stress this enough. I know I say it a lot, but it always bears repeating, and that's that you should not spend a ton of money building something that you don't know you have a market for yet. So make it as lean as humanly possible, and one great strategy to do that is to first build a Frankentype. Frankentype will prove to you that it works, and so you kind of got that part humming and going really well, and then it's time to pretty it up, make a new one, and you've learned a lot with this Frankentype. You hadn't spent much money, and now you make a demo type, and that's going to prove it to other people. And maybe you spend a little more money, but you still keep it lean. And again, we teach ways to do that all the time. Another thing was the pain points were his. Again, and other musicians as well. And this kind of goes back to, inventing where you live, because there's sometimes a lot of opportunities there. So, and that begs a question that I want to throw out, and answer in the comments of the chat or whatever platform you're watching this on, and that's, have you looked to invent where you live? Are there things around you that maybe you've picked up on that are potential opportunities for new products or new businesses? They may be right there, and it might be right in front of you, and it might be staring you straight in the eye, and you may not even know it. So watch for that. Another thing about Eddie Van Halen is he licensed to different companies throughout the years, and finally did a full product line of amps and guitar-related products, and he practically had a complete ecosystem of guitar gear. So he was not only licensing. He was a businessman. He did and even if you're going to do licensing, and this is an excellent point, you've got to understand enough of the business point so you can talk to the people that you're licensing to very, very well. Don't come off to them as a crazy inventor, or they probably won't license from you. So you have to be well versed in their world. So how can you learn more about Frankentypes, demo types, and more? Well, you can check out our Empowered Inventing Academy course called Building a Prototype on a Budget. And you can find that at empoweredinventing.com and sign up today for that and take that course at your own pace from your own laptop or computer or mobile device. So again, I'm Don Skaggs. This is Empowered Inventing TV. Like, subscribe, help us to build our tribe, and I'll look to see you at the next meeting, workshop, maybe one of those online courses, or on the next video.